So last Sunday, I rebooted the COD History series, and the new version of it is my list. It's my opinions, which I've never done. I've always done the communities, and you guys showed a lot of love on the Black Ops 2 worst map. So we're going to keep this going, and if you want this series to continue, drop a like and let me know. And today, we're going to go over the worst guns. And remember, this is my list, so it's subjective. Obviously, you guys will probably agree with some, disagree. You guys are more than welcome to tell me your list in the comment section. One of the main selling points of Call of Duty is that there are tons and tons of weapons for you to choose from when you jump into multiplayer. However, not all COD guns are created equal, my friends, and even though the series has been pretty well balanced, there are plenty of guns throughout it that are terrible. And that's what we're going to go over today. Welcome to the Sunday COD History Top 10, and today is 10 of the worst guns in COD history. Be sure to let me know which one is your least favorite. Let's get into it. To start off this list of nastiness in a bad way, we're going to go with the MK14 from Advanced Warfare. That's right, this semi-automatic rifle in a game where semi-automatic rifles, well, they didn't really work out very well for anybody. The MK14 first appeared in Modern Warfare 3, where it was a pretty powerful gun. Then, it was brought back for Advanced Warfare, where it got nerfed hard. It was a semi-automatic weapon, and normally, the semi-autos have some kind of damage boost to make up for the slower rate of fire, but no such luck, my friends. The AW MK14 is so weak. I mean, from the head and the headshot hitbox, the body, all of it. It is bad. Everybody is also jumping around and being obnoxious with exosuits. So all in all, there's just no reason to take the MK14 in place of any other gun in the game. It may have been awesome in Modern Warfare 3, but the AW version deserves a spot on this list. At number 9, what looked to be such a cool gun in the trailer just turned out to not be. And I know there's going to be people in the comment section, Jimmy, this gun is amazing. What are you talking about? Did you even play Black Ops 2? I'm speaking of the Executioner. I know, might rustle a few feathers with this one, but seriously, come on. If we're all being honest with each other, which I hope we are, it was bad. Sure, it was fun to run around with, and you could get some cheesy kills with it at close range, but if the enemy was further than spitting distance away from you, you were screwed. The Executioner, for those that didn't know, was kind of a shotgun revolver hybrid with a 5-round capacity and an extremely slow reload. Now, it was definitely fun to run around Nuketown and get fast kills with it, and in hardcore mode, it was much, much better, but overall, this is one of those guns in the COD community that isn't really remembered that fondly. Come on, well, I guess some people do, but if we're being honest, it was pretty bad. This month's giveaway is for a new PlayStation 4 console. All you have to do to enter is drop a like on this video, be subscribed to the channel, and turn on your notifications so you never miss an upload. And in the comment section, let me know why you want to win the PS4 and include your Twitter handle so I can contact you if you're the winner. The winner will be announced at the end of the month. At number 8, the Dragunov. The Dragunov. This is one of those guns that has appeared in quite a few Call of Duty games, but for whatever reason, it was never good. In COD 4, you could kind of make out the Dragunov. You could make it work, I guess, the fast time to kill in the game, so it kind of worked. But in Black Ops, this gun was useless. Aside from the fact that snipers got nerfed hard in the original Black Ops, the Dragunov is just awkward to use. It was slow to reload and hardly does any damage, which gets super frustrating since it's supposed to be a freaking sniper rifle. Sniping in Black Ops 1 was not the best, and if you tried to snipe with the Dragunov, you were just in for a bad, frustrating experience. Okay, now it's really time to rustle some feathers because I remember when we did the community version of this one, and man, some people were pissed off, but you know what? This is my list. Here we go. The F2000 in Modern Warfare 2, and I already know there are going to be people in the comment section telling me this is a god gun, and I just didn't know how to use it properly back in the day because there is always someone in the comments whenever I say anything bad about the F2000, but come on, seriously. The gun was trash compared to everything else in the game. It was a high rate of fire assault rifle with very, very low damage, a slow reload, and a magazine that you would burn through in a split second. Not to talk about the kickback rate where it shot straight up. There is just no reason to use this thing over the ACR or the TAR or any other gun in Modern Warfare 2 if you ask me. Now, you guys, you can give me your thoughts, give me your opinions. I can take it. At number 6, and man, this thing brings back some memories for me, the Uzi in Black Ops. Now, Black Ops weapon balance was pretty bad, but if we're being honest here, this one was one of the worst. And this is one of my favorite Call of Duties of all time, but even I can admit that the weapon balance is pretty awful. You basically had the FAMAS, the AUG, the Stoner, the AK-74U, and then most everything else was just filling the space behind them. Now, a perfect example of that, oh, the Galil, don't forget the Galil. A perfect example of that is that Uzi. The submachine gun probably could have been, it could have been left out of the game. It could have competed pretty well in another Call of Duty game, but due to the fact that it was in Black Ops 1, it was one of the worst guns ever. It fired extremely quickly, which was nice, but it didn't have much reserve ammo when you spawned in. Plus, the range of this thing was pretty bad, and it would eventually drop all the way down to only 20 damage per bullet, which is basically sneezing on someone and letting them know you were there so they could turn around and turn you into Swiss cheese with their FAMAS. At number 5, speaking of those guns where there's always somebody ready to defend it because they're going to say you didn't use it right, well, here we have another one. The Scorpion in COD 4. And I hate to break it to you, but the Scorpion of COD 4 wasn't that great. If you managed to use it well, I am happy for you guys, but the rest of us couldn't figure out the magic formula, so it gets a spot on this list. The Scorpion is an SMG with a fast fire rate, low damage, and a painfully slow reload, and since this is COD 4, you were forced to either take sleight of hand for a faster reload or stopping power for higher damage, meaning you could fix both of these guns' problem at the same time, making it extremely frustrating. You would either go back to being stuck with a hit marker machine, or you were going to spend half of the game reloading behind cover. Now, is the Scorpion better in hardcore mode? Of course it is, definitely, but that's not really a fair thing to defend it with because every gun in COD 4 is better in hardcore mode, and in standard multiplayer, the COD 4 Scorpion is doo-doo. At number 4, and this is, man, we're doing a lot of let's be real with each other, okay? And this is fun giving my list because I'm sure you guys are going to be all over me, but that's the fun of it. The M1 Garand in World at War. Now, does this gun sound amazing? Yes. Is it an iconic thing to the franchise and the history of warfare as a whole? Absolutely. Is it actually a good gun in World at War? No. If you take the nostalgia goggles off and you look at World at War and the M1 Garand with fresh eyes, it was kind of bad. It was a 2-shot kill minimum and it had a pretty low fire rate cap, so you couldn't spam it like the other semi-automatic rifles, and it only had an 8-round magazine, and that magazine could not be reloaded until the entire cartridge was spent, making this thing a total nightmare in close-range combat since you couldn't reload on your own accord. Now look, I love the M1 as much as the next guy, but if we're being super honest with each other here, Circle of Trust in the comment section, this gun was not very good. At number 3, the sawed-off shotgun in COD World War II. This piece of crap comes from the latest full COD release, and despite the fact that it's been buffed a couple times, it's still not that good. The sawed-off is a double-barrel shotgun that can fire twice before being reloaded, and while it does have a decent amount of power at point-blank range, it's a sawed-off shotgun, it should, the range drop-off is way too strong, and it quickly becomes useless. Plus, the reload for this thing is ridiculously long, and even the point-blank damage, which is supposed to be its bread and butter, is inconsistent, as sometimes you kill people with a single shot, and other times you'll nail them with both shots, and they'll still be standing staring at you. The shotguns in COD World War II were pretty lackluster all around, but the sawed-off, to me, is the worst of them all. At number 2, speaking of double-barrel shotguns, let's talk about perhaps the worst one in any Call of Duty game to date. I'm talking about the Olympia in Black Ops. Now, I know there's people that are just, there's a cult following for this gun, but I mean, it was pitiful with the damage drop-off, so while the base damage was pretty high, capable of a one-shot kill, your chances of actually getting that one-shot kill were pretty slim, thanks to how inconsistent it was and how punishing the range drop-off was. And remember, it's a double barrel, so you have to reload after every 2 pulls of the trigger. And finishing off our list is perhaps the dumbest gun in any Call of Duty game. I'm giving it to the China Lake. This launcher is one of the hardest things to use in any COD game, and that's not because it's tough to handle, or maybe there's a special trick to it. It's just because it's so awkward and awful that it's almost impossible to actually do well. It is extremely slow to fire and aim down the sights, and the reload time isn't much better. Plus, when you have this gun equipped, your character moves painfully slow, like he's running in molasses mixed with quicksand. But what about the damage, you may ask, Jimmy? Well, you better get a direct impact with this baby, or else you're going to get yourself a juicy fat hit marker and then spend the next 5 minutes reloading the freaking thing before you can fire it again. While the other guns on this list were bad, but some had some kind of trick to make them decent, the China Lake in Black Ops 1 had no special trick. There is no magic formula. It was awful, and that is why it gets the number 1 spot on this list. But if we're going to go with the glass is half full, if you got a kill with it, man, was it rewarding. And there you have it, my friends. That is my list of the worst guns in Call of Duty history. And trust me, there's plenty of other guns that could have made it on here. There are hundreds of guns, but we only had room for 10. So if you guys enjoyed, drop a like. Let me know which guns you agreed with me on, and of course you're going to let me know which ones you didn't. This is the new revamped COD History Sunday Top 10. I hope you guys enjoy. I'll be back soon with a new one.